We go to Portland. James, my man. What's going on?
Jimmy, my man. March Madness. Make sure you ask Tommy Lloyd of Arizona if he's ready to get his ass kicked by the Oregon Ducks in the second round. And a quick shout-out to a couple clones who tweeted the show today. Was it Ken and S.A. satisfying Alvin's cravings and mentioning another fellow sex addict, Alvin, Rick Pitino. Right, Ken? Alvin and old Coach Pitino spilling the Alfredo sauce on the dinner table. And it was great to hear Amber in Portland, a local. She wasn't too busy manicuring her huge bush to shout out March Madness.
What do you mean, what?
No.
Alvin.
You don't like that call. I don't like that.
Hey, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you about it, Alvin. Hey, Tommy, let me borrow you for a second. I would ask Alvin, but he clearly is not going to tell me anything truthful. What is not runnable about that guy getting on and saying Alvin and Rick Pitino are spilling their Alfredo sauce on the table at an Italian restaurant?
So, I mean, since you just repeated it, I guess technically he didn't cross any, major line. He didn't say any specific thing that can't be said on the radio. I'm assuming would be Alvin's
What did I
argument.
repeat? I hadn't gotten to it yet. It had not. We're talking about V. V sent something in that I have not yet read on the air.
Right.
That guy, in fact, Alvin, speak for yourself. How does that guy not get run? Hey, Alvin.
Which part? The spilling the Alfredo sauce?
Yeah.
Maybe Maybe he has his own special Alfredo sauce that he likes to bring.
No, dude. He was talking about your special Alfredo sauce. He was talking about your special Alfredo sauce.
I'm not a big
and
Alfredo
Rick
sauce guy.
That's not what he was insinuating. He was insinuating you are a big Alfredo sauce guy, along with Rick Pitino, and you both like to spill it on tables. How did you not run him for accusing you of that?
We can go back to the tape.
Let's go back to the tape.
Let's go back to the tape.
Maybe I'm making much ado about nothing. Let's go back to the tape.
Give me a second.
James in Portland is not calling to get racked ever. Why do you think he ends his call, every single call, with, and I quote, because he knows he's going to get run? Go ahead, Alvin.
Right, Ken? Alvin and old Coach Pitino spilling the Alfredo sauce on the dinner table. And
That's not runnable to you. He even gave you his runnable Pornhub sound. Alvy. Is this thing on, Alvy?
And then he went on.
And it was great to hear Amber in Portland, a local. She wasn't too busy manicuring her huge bush to shout out March Madness.
See?
There you go.
Now that's runnable right
That's
there.
runnable.
I think.
Yeah, you think? I didn't even hear that part, to be honest.
No.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even hear him say that.
I was listening so closely.
Too busy.
Not a very good call.
Yeah, no, I was too fixated on why you didn't run him earlier. And had you run him earlier, he would have never got to that part.
Right. It's like a roller coaster. What I've kind of learned from James, there's that one dip, and then there's an even bigger one later. So you hit the second one. Am I wrong?
Well, yes, because there shouldn't be a dip, because if you run him on the first one, the ride is over, and we don't get to the second dip. They're like peaks and valleys to a James call? No, there's not. The guy's going to come in, he's going to greet me, Jimmy, and then he's going to go right to Alvy, and then he's going to say something runnable, which is what he did, and you let him go.
In a vacuum, Alfredo sauce is passable.
There you go.
All right, well, there it is. There it
Best
is.
part was you just staring at each other, you waiting for him to run, and Alvin just looking at you, going, what?
Exactly. I'm looking at him like, why not? And he's looking at me like, what?
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 Did he say something wrong? What?
What?
You need something, host. What? Well, yes. I need you to do your job because you're the only one with a run button, Alvin. That's what I need. He's looking at me like, what are you looking at, dude?
What?
Why are you looking at me? Don't you have a show to host? Yes.
What?
All right, so I guess we're splitting hairs on whether or not Alfredo sauce is offensive. I guess it depends on what context. I know what he said about Amber was offensive.
You do the math.
Thank you for running him for that.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new Asiago garlic
Amber,
Alfredo.
I would take up for you, but I know you can handle your own.
More lady clone.
She's fine. He's not. James is not, but she's fine. V and the Fee. Okay, so this is what V and the Fee attempted before that phone call. Quote, I'm with Rick Pimp Tino on this one. I take great joy in beating self. Signed, your right-hand man, Paul Rubbins.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
War Pitino bringing his own quart of Alfredo sauce to the restaurant. In other words, you do the math, I'll bring the gallon of Alfredo. Listen, I've been trying to figure out why I can't get to Rick Pitino. Why our booker can't turn Rick Pitino.
Different spot.
And
Olive Garden's
I say that because Rick has always been very good to me in the show. But since getting to St. John's and turning St. John's around, I've been trying so hard to get him to come on the program, and I'm not having any luck. Now, when that thing happens, it could be any number of things. Number one, he might not be getting the message. Number two, he might get the message and just not want to do it for some reason. Maybe something changed. Or maybe what changed, maybe he thinks I'm the one that gets on the air and says crap like that. V, you might be the reason I can't get anywhere near Rick Pitino because of takes like that. Because for a lot of people, it's almost impossible to separate the host from the show if something happens on the show, because somebody listening or watching will run it back to the source, the guy or gal, and say, do you know what Rome said about you? No, I've always been good with Rome. What did he say? He made some crack about you and a gallon of Alfredo in an Italian restaurant.
Olive Garden's never-ending.
Oh, that's funny, because he and his team keep calling to get me on the show. Yeah, won't be doing that. Yeah, but there's no context. They run it back to the player or the coach or the family member without any context. I did not say that. I mean, this happened in real life. Remember when I made the tabloids in New York for, quote, bagging on soccer for preempting the show? I didn't. I read something from one of you that bagged on the TV show being preempted. You know what happened then? You didn't get the full story. My boss ripped me a new one. My boss was not happy with me at all. And I'm like, boss, I get it, man. I get it. But I didn't do it. I was defending you. I actually disagreed with the email. But somebody got it. And then one of the tabloids in New York got it. And then it was everywhere. And this is what I mean by context. I read something that was directed to the show and something that was happening on the TV network, but it wasn't my take. There has to be context. So now I know why Pitino's not coming on. Because of things like that. Starting with you, V. Going next to you, James. And Alvin, you're not helping by condoning it somehow. Mikey writes, hey, brah. Not sure why Bush and Alfredo are runnable. Signed, Lauren Hub. Y'all know that we're still on daytime radio and X. Things can get pretty spicy on X. I get that. The fast channel environment is way more hygienic. Know your room. See, the problem with my room is I'm in a bunch of different rooms at the same exact time. So I want to be really aggressive, but I can be more aggressive in that room than I can be in this room. You clones, you only have one gear. You only have one speed. You don't give a damn what room I'm in. Come on now. Ken writes, Rome, to be honest, if you do it in a broom closet, then you don't have to clean the Alfredo sauce off the tablecloth. Signed, Boris Becker. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong about that. Jamie in Green Bay. Sorry, Jim. Alvin reviewed the play. There was no hostile act. The call stands. You are not awarded another challenge for the remainder of the game. Do I lose the timeout too? We actually did go to the replay booth. the review booth across the glass. And there's Amber. Amber's response to James. Do I need to replay what James said about Amber? Probably not, right? Okay. Amber, and I love these beefs that take place in real time, like this one. Amber responded to James in Portland by saying, quote, Romy, I truly appreciate the shout out from James in Portland. However, I have seen his ex-profile pic, and the only bush that needs tending to is the unkempt beaver on his face. War Lady Clones.
War Lady Clones.
Hey now. So it is a beef day, isn't it? I didn't know that it was going to be clone on clone crime as beef day, but getting started early.